38, where we saw the latest in the James Bond franchise called Quantum of Solace.
Stupid of Solace.
Stupid of Solace. This is a direct sequel from Casino Royale that picks up right where that one left off. You saw Casino Royale, right? On DVD. Mm. And did you like that one? Mm-hmm. You thought that one was great?
Well, the James Bonds are like sophisticated.
Sophisticated. A little too sophisticated for you, maybe? But you like the action?
Yeah, except in the Quantum of Solace.
You didn't like the action in that?
The picture just went... You could barely see what's happening. It just went...
It was a little frenetic, I'd say. Yeah, the director, Mark Forster, comes from a background doing like things like Monster Ball and things which are like more dramatic. He's not an action director, and I don't know how he got to direct this because his action sequences are practically... I can't even think of a word. You can't know. You don't want to know what's going on. It's just a big jumble of things. You're so close. You're so tight. There's a car chase in the beginning, and when the policeman says, "There's a gray car and an black Alfa Romeo or Aston Martin," whatever it was, they both looked black to me. And then they were covered in dirt. I couldn't tell the difference in the action sequence between the two cars. I didn't know which one James Bond was driving. It's like, it's just so close. It's just like you cannot understand or even focus on what's going on in the action. They're fighting all these inside fights and all this crazy stuff, but you don't know, so you can't get sucked into it because you don't know what's really going on.
Every millisecond.
Yeah. I really, I had read that this was more of an action movie. I don't think so because I don't know what the action was. I just know it was a crazy jumble. It was like, what's that guy's name from the Looney Tunes,
Taz?
Tasmanian Devil had come buzzing through there and was ripping stuff apart because I don't know what was going on.
He was go, and then before the room was clean, after it was dirty.
Okay, but besides the action, you just didn't follow the story, right?
I understood that they had to find the guy and kill him.
Well, James Bond in this one is a loose cannon, to say the least. He is so overcome with rage from the Vesper being killed from the movie before, who he was in love with, that he has a license to kill, but apparently he never bothered to get his license to interrogate. Because it's like his thing is shoot first and forget about it after that. Shoot first, ask questions, never. He just kills everyone in sight. Everyone he gets near him, Dad, cha-ching, Dad, right?
Yeah, they have a gun. He doesn't. They were in the elevator. There was two guys that had guns. He had none. He had his hands behind his back, and still he knocked him out. And
still now he has 17 guns and 25 dead guys under his foot. So take this, stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was this mysterious organization behind everything from the first movie, who I gather we're now calling Quantum, although that was a little unsure if that's what their title was or what. But the title from this means that James Bond was just trying to get the tiniest bit of solace. In other words, he was trying to get over the death of Vesper, and he's trying to find some way to get through that and past that and move on.
What was the sentence you were just doing? I was spacing.
Oh, right. You were getting a quantum of sleep while we were talking. Well, first of all, he wants revenge. He wants retribution, but he also wants to get over her death, and he wants to find out more than anything if she actually loved him or she betrayed him. So that's in along. But in this version and in the last one, Casino Royale, the villains are they're less cartoonish and over the top. The guy in this one was this greasy, slimy French guy who's a tiny little guy, and yet he managed to be kicking James Bond's ass at the end. So I really wanted to love this, but it's maybe else when I see it again. I'm not losing faith in James Bond. Daniel Craig is wonderful. I like the interaction with M, Judi Dench. They made that very human and real between them, like there was now more of a bond because Bond was trying to save her. And that was all good. And I'm looking forward to the next one. This one, I'd say maybe don't bother unless you're really hardcore and you really love Casino Royale, which I did. But somehow this one just fell a little flat. I'd like a quantum of my money back, please, from the box office. Right? Anyway, so that's just our 2 cents.
Yeah.
And our two fingers, which are going to get snapped off James Bond style. So, we'll see you next week. We're going to talk about Bolt. And have a lovely Thanksgiving. And that'll be our Thanksgiving show next week. I think we'll have turkey feathers. And we'll baste ourselves. I'm going to baste you if you don't stop it.